Hi guys, my name is Tabitha. Today I'm going to be doing an unboxing and testing out this robot vacuum cleaner. Now this also doubles as a mop, which is really fascinating, so I am excited to get into this and try it out. So let's get it open. So it's got pretty simple packaging. Everything is protected with this custom-made cardboard cutout. You have an instruction manual right on top. You've got your robot vacuum, of course. You have the little charging base, a remote, and they do provide batteries for that, the wall cord, and then there's a little filter, as well as all of the little sweeping bristles, and a cleaning and cutting tool in case you need to free up any tangles. That's really cool. And then on top of all of that, they do give you a little quick start guide. So I'm going to get everything set up real quick and then I'll be right back. All right, so I am back. I got everything set up with the app. I let this charge for a little while. I didn't give it a full charge because I was too eager to use it. Now I am crazy impressed by this and I am so excited to have this. The setup process was extremely simple. Using the Smart Life app, it recognized it almost right away. As long as you can set up your Wi-Fi to 2.4 gigahertz, it is crazy quick and everything is really self-explanatory on the app. I'm going to show you a little bit of what that looks like as I also show you some of the features that this has. And on top of having the app, you also get the remote. So I absolutely loved having this. If I don't want to use my phone, I can do everything on here for the most part that I can on the app, aside from setting schedules and stuff. So as far as using this goes, on the robot vacuum itself, you have a simple power button and a return to home button on the top. When it's on the charger, if you press the power button, it will start the vacuum up and it will enter an auto cycle. It's going to pretty much do its own thing, but in somewhat of a pattern. It's going to figure out kind of the layout of your space, and it will occasionally bump into furniture or chair legs. This front half here is the little bumper, so as it runs into things, it will sense that and correct itself until it can get back on the path. And it did an amazing job. Now on the remote, if you want to do that same thing, all you have to do is press the little play pause button in the middle and it will take off from the charger and start that auto cycle. But you also have some other controls here. You can manually control this with the arrows, just like you can on the app, and you can tell it exactly where you want it to go if there's somewhere specific, or you can tell it to do an edge run, same as on the app. It will go over to your walls and your furniture and it will follow that to a T. It did an amazing job. I am going to love this feature so much because that is where a majority of the dust, dirt, and hair collects in my home. So that cycle is going to run frequently for me. Then you have the spiral cycle. That is for a very focused, heavy clean. If maybe you have a spill or a mess that you need it to get up, you can place it in the middle of that and tell it to run the spiral cycle, and it will go in like a 3-foot spiral one direction and repeat the same thing going the opposite direction until it meets back in the middle. So it gives a really heavy clean, and it also puts the motor up so it's giving a lot of suction. Below those buttons on the remote, you have your suction button, so you can control this between light, medium, and high suction. And then you have your little mop button down here with the water icons. Now you can also control how much water this puts out. You've got 3 different options, again, light, medium, and heavy. Up at the top of the remote, you have, again, that return home button, just like you do on the vacuum itself and on the app. When it comes to sending the robot back home, I tested it out in a few different places. I tried it out when it was on the opposite side of my island from where the charging station was, and it did take it about 3 minutes to find its way back, but overall it did a really great job. Now if it is in a closer vicinity to the charging dock, it's almost back to it in no time. It will automatically go back to the charging station if it senses that the battery is starting to run low. And then this other button up here on the top with the square and the arrows is just going to send the vacuum in kind of like a zigzag pattern. It will go at an angle until it reaches a point that it can't continue, and it will turn and go the other direction and repeat that until it covers a large area. And to dump everything out was crazy simple. There's a very easy latch here on the back that opens up to that dust and water compartment, so you can pull that out very easily. You can access the filter there and replace that whenever you need to. This thing collected so much dirt and dust, and I mean, from running it maybe 10 minutes, and it was pretty much all in the same area of my home. And you can use the little cutter if you've got hair wrapped around any of the wheels or spinners. And that little dust compartment is also where you are going to add your water for your mopping feature, and the bottom of it holds your little mop pad. Now the mop pad stays on there even during the vacuuming phase, and it did get a little bit dirty, so I gave that a really quick rinse before trying out the mop feature. And again, it absolutely blew my mind. I could tell an obvious difference between the high output at 3 and the low at 1, so it was putting out a decent amount of water. There was a clear layer of dirt on the mop whenever it finished, and I ran it for a very short amount of time in quite a small area. So everything about this I am crazy about, from how simple it is to use, how well it does at its job, and the fact that it is a mop and a vacuum is so handy. This is going to be a true lifesaver if you guys were looking for a remarkable robot vacuum that doubles as a mop. This is such a great choice, you guys. I think that you would love it. It would make for a wonderful gift. I would definitely give this a try.